Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Nasar. Coming back at you another video through the spirit of Motb. As always, Lord will not break these. Let's be edifying to the Lord's elect. Prior to getting started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kadash. I want to give double honors to the apostle and elders, great millstone, who teach well, and peace and salutations to you. I come on for one's Christians, truth, and sincerity and diligence. All right, shalom, shalom. Right, it's going to be another works after work in transit lesson. And ultimately, just wanted to start the camera and actually read a couple things. I looked up some things on ChatGPT, right, and I'll read a little bit off of that, just to go into these stable coins, right, that was just regulated, right, and ultimately when I looked it up, stable coins law passed, right, so ultimately they passed a law to regulate stable coins, which was like something that is like how can I explain it? It's like something that's backed by the US dollar, like a asset. So this fiat currency backs it up, right? Which it leads, it's going to further go into helping them legalize the digital currency, if you will, right? Because ultimately, when I was reading up on it, what it shows, what it will lead to is when you have these stable coins in place, it'll be less use of banks, right? So banks won't be as needed as they are now, right? Where a person will have the ability to have control over their assets and their money in the palm of their hand, right? Sounds familiar, right? And ultimately, it's going to lead to a complete digital society and digital system, which this devil wants. So I looked up stable coin law passed, right? Hold on, I think I looked up something first. I looked up stable coins. So, right, so I'm gonna read this. This is the AI overview on stable coins. It says stable coins are a type of cryptocurrency designed to minimize price of volatility by pegging their value to a stable asset like the US dollar. It says this external reference can be a fiat currency like the US dollar, right? So it says, or a commodity such as gold. So it's backed by the US dollar and gold, right? So when I looked up the stablecoin laws that was passed, this is another AI overview. It says the US Senate has passed a bill regulating stablecoins. So all of this was going on while you got Iran, Russia, bombs dropping, not bombs, excuse me, ballistic missiles being flown all over the place, people getting hit, right? All of this chaos is breaking out, right? But at the same time, right, this devil is constantly furthering his agenda to his to what his digital currency, his AI powered world, right, is what he's desiring to have, right? So since the US Senate has passed a bill regulating stable coins, a type of cryptocurrency pegged to the value of another asset like the US dollar, the bill known as the Genius Act. So that's what it was called, right? That's what I looked up. I had seen that. I seen what was the Genius Act, and it said this is them basically pushing this out to where soon they can put all banks out of business, right? And you look at Wells Fargo, right? They talking about shutting down all branches. I believe a couple years ago, I don't know if it was a couple years ago, or was it last year? Don't quote me on it, but you had that fucking bank CEO of that bank. I think it was Bank of America. I can't really remember what bank, don't quote me on it, but he fucking jumped off the top of the bank. So now we're seeing why, which we've already known why a lot of these things were happening, but everything is leading to, right, the RFID, right, that mark of the beast system that this devil is designed to establish in the earth. And I'm gonna read a little bit on it, right, because ChatGPT kind of went into it, right? So that's what the bill is. The bill is called the Genius Act, right? So it establishes a federal framework. So this is just the framework of everything that they're wanting to establish. It says for stablecoin insurance, and aims to create a clear path for private companies to issue digital dollars according to the CNBC. The bill passed with a 68-30 vote. On now moves to the House of consideration. The video proves. All right, so it's a video of a news alert from CNBC, right? So they passed this this thing with the stable coins, right? So as I was reading up on the stable coins, this is what ChatGPT tells me, right? And I'm gonna read it. So I said, I asked ChatGPT, I was like, where is it? What are stable coins, right? So it says stable coins are a type of cryptocurrency designed to have stable value being pegged by real world assets like the US dollar, which we read. It says the main type of stable coin is a fiat collateralized stable coins backed by traditional currency, the US dollar, right? So basically how it works is for every stable coin issued is $1 stored into a reserved account, right? So if this is what's being implemented, people are going to go from going to banks where your money is no longer your money to a system that's digital to where your money is always on you and you're the bank. So it's basically taking away the need of banks, right? Damn, somebody got smacked. Right? Hey, the Lord bring forth judgment every morning. Boys is getting smoked. Let me get over though. Bear with me. Let's see if this guy gonna let me over. Damn. Hey man. This is what happens. Right? They be out here rushing. They be driving crazy. Having no patience, and they banging they shit up, right? But all right, let's jump back into this, right? So it says, so that's basically how it worked, right? So you have one stable coin will be basically is what's going to be issued for every dollar. So your money is going to be put into a system to where, damn, these guys got in a wreck too. Damn, what the hell going on? Damn, the boys is bumper to bumper, right? Hey, that's why, and that's beautiful though, because the Lord had me, because these guys coming from my job site, right? So the Lord had me. I didn't have a lot of gas, and when you leaving out of the parking lot like that, you gotta be sitting in like this long. It take forever to get out the fucking parking lot. But the Lord had me not really had no gas to where I stayed later than what I usually would. I probably would have ended up in that, man. The scriptures talk about how the Lord directed our steps, man. Right? So that's the let me jump back into this. This is verse 2, not verse 2. Bulletin 2 going into the stable coins. It says, or we backlog crypto, that's something that we already said. All right, so how it works. It says you might need to lock $150 worth of ETH to mint 100 of DAE. It says the algorithmic stable coins not backed by assets but use smart contracts and algorithms to expand or shrink supply prices. Example, no, so none of that really matter. That's not what I wanted. Let me see. Why stable coins matter. So here you go. This is why I said that it matters, right? So it says it's fast transactions without needing banks. See, so that's the main thing. That's the main objective, is to get rid of banks. So don't be surprised when we start seeing a lot of banks being closed down, right? So it says using the DEFI, which is the I forget how you say it, decentralized finances. It says for leading and borrowing, earning and interest, right? So you get interest on your shit, right? So it says hedge against crypto volatility. It says people park funds and stable coins when the market is shaky, right? So they giving you this shade of saying that your assets and your money is protected, right? Even in a collapsing economy, because what it's going to do is as the years go by, we constantly see that physical dollars no longer no one is handling or taking physical dollars anymore, right? And remember, I believe it was last year that the CBDC talk, the central bank digital currency, that was the talk that had been going on, right? So they're still making plans and moving towards these things, right? So it says can be programmable money and Web3 and smart contracts, increasingly used in international transfers with lower fees and faster speed than traditional wire systems. So you telling me if they promoting this the way that they're promoting this, with all of these pros, right, and all of the hell that people have with the banks, they're gonna jump on this, right? They're gonna jump over to, they're gonna be down for a digital currency where you're the bank and the money is in the palm of your hand via with like when you're reading this, it's saying your phone and your Apple Watch. As I continue to dig into ChatGPT, it constantly it enhanced in what what it will lead to, right? So it says, so I asked ChatGPT, I said, so basically another step toward digital currency, right? It says exactly, stable coins are a major step toward a fully digital currency system. They're like the bridge between traditional money, where people are handling dollars, right, which we're getting away from. It says in the new digital financial world. It says why stable coins are a key step toward digital currency. Dollar but digital. It says a stable coin like the USDC equals $1, but it moves on the blockchain. It says you can send it 24/7 across borders with no banks involved. There you go. It says testing ground for CBDCs. Governments like the US, China, EU are watching stablecoins closely. Stablecoins are private sector versions of the governments, of what governments want to do with CBDCs, right? To where you're going to have a CBDC rather than a bank account, right? So it says, example, the digital yuan. It says, and the proposed digital dollar would function similarly, right? Because they did have that digital yuan that they ended up rolling out, right? When you look at that digital yuan, it'll be like going into like China and shit like that. Like it's like a popular currency system basically that was established, right? Because China, when you look it up, China wanted to expand like globally with it, right? But you know, it's similar to that, right? So it says bankless finances. It says people are using stable coins to earn yield, borrow money, and buy goods, all without traditional banks. See? And that's a major thing, right? With banks closing, that means people won't have access to their funds, right? It says because I forget what bank it was recently, it said that people accounts were showing up zero balance. It says that's a new economic system forming outside the traditional finances. It says integration with big tech. It says stablecoins are being tested and used in apps like PayPal, Meta, Facebook, and even Amazon in the future. Now, that's a major thing, right? Because you look at Amazon, right? You look at Amazon, what are they promoting? They're promoting the palm scan, right? The new wallet, right? What the objective is to show your biometric payments, right? And that's becoming a normal thing where this devil is wanting to, he's utilizing your face scan, your thumb scan, right? He's getting your biometrics. And soon that system is going to be implemented to where you're going to be able to pay with the palm of your hand, right? But when they implement that, it's going to be, you know, full on with it being in, you know, into your flesh, right? So when you read it, it says Amazon, one that lets you pay with the palm of your hand, it says soon your palm, your ID, your bank account is your access pass, right? It says this replaces cash, cards, even phones. Total convenience, total surveillance, right? So that takes away the privacy. You won't have any privacy, right? And that's what it breaks down, because he's gonna put that charagma in you, like it talks about in Revelation 13. Matter of fact, let's get that, right? You see, so everything that this devil is doing, right, is leading to his digital currency, his digital system, that mark of the beast that he's wanting to establish in the earth, right? This is Revelation 13 and verse 16. It says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, right, and their right hand are in their foreheads. It says that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast and a number of his name, right? So we understand and we see that this is what we're entering into, right? It's not sin, it's not a barcode, it's none of that. This is something that he's going to physically implement into your temple, into your body, right, to give you these abilities, I'm gonna say, to scan with the palm of your hand, right, and operate in society, because this is what the word is leading to. You look at a lot of people read this and they try and tie it to fictional things, right, or things that don't really make sense, right? Well, you have to look at, when you're reading prophecy, you have to look into the world and see what the world is actually leading to, and this is what it's leading to, right? Pay with the palm of your hand. Even ChatGPT referenced Revelation the 13th chapter when we're talking about this, man, right? It says the bigger picture is free. It says freedom or control. It says help them to see spiritual, financial, and social consequences this shift means more speed and power, but less. So you get more speed, more power, right? More control within yourself, or the illusion of control, because you really won't have control, because he'll be able to control where you at, what you spend your money on, how much of it that you're spending. He'll have complete control, right? So, and that's what his desire is. It says less privacy, more surveillance, no real ownership of cash, and total traceability. The goal isn't just tech innovation, right? Because a lot of people look at it like, oh, our technology is advanced and it's enhancing, but it's not about that. It's about having surveillance and more control, right? Him desiring to be as the Most High, right? It says the goal isn't just tech innovation, it's full control of how you live, spend, and think, man. So this is what that new that new law of the stable coin is, what that new Genius Act that they just passed, what is ultimately going to lead to. So this is what the big picture is, right, with this devil. And this is what ChatGPT said, the big picture and what comes next. It says phase 1, cash, bank cards, apps like Cash App and PayPal. So it goes from cash to bank cards to apps. Cash App, PayPal, Apple Pay, right? Phase 2, it says the stable coins on blockchains still connected to the USD, right? Because it's backed by the US dollar. So the US dollar is still in effect, but it's just giving you another avenue of digital currency that is shielded by. So it says phase 3, CBDC, central bank digital currencies, replace or compete with stable coins, which is going to be one and the same. It says phase 4, a fully digital money system with biometric logins like Amazon Palm Scan, programmable payments, and no physical cash. That's what it's leading to, like we just read in the Revelation, the 13th chapter, man. You see, so as time progresses, we're seeing that war is breaking out, rumors of wars, a lot of chaos, right? But he's still making progressive steps to implement that mark of the beast system, right? And that's really what I wanted to start the camera and go into, right? And just wanted to read that to show, like, this devil, right? He's constantly making progressive steps towards his agenda, right? And his agenda is to charagma and mark up as many as he can, man, right? And we know the judgment for those that will consent. The scripture says, for they that consent shall be trodden underfoot. Well, many is going to consent, many people, because he's not only is he going to give you the ability to have great convenience, but he's going to deceive the masses, right? With his technology, he's going to say, hey, this person is able to walk again, this person is able to see again. It talks about and we're seeing how his innovations and how he's moving towards that, man, right? So this devil, he got some freaky shit going on, man. His agenda is to pump this out full-fledged. Eventually he's going to pump it out full-fledged, right? And if you're one that's tied into the society, right, mentally, right, you're gonna be caught off with it, man, right? Because the scripture says that be as him that sell it. Let me get it. Bear with me. Let me get that. I can't remember how it was worded. It say he that sell it be as he does not. That's second Esdras. Because it talks about us being prepared to be pilgrims upon the earth. This is second Esdras 16 and verse 41. Now I'm gonna read let me see. Yeah, I'll read 41. Now I read 40. It says, "O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils, even being as pilgrims upon the earth." It says, "He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose." Right? So yeah, we're operating in a society, we have jobs and whatever the case may be, but always be in the mind frame to know that this shit isn't forever, and that eventually you're going to have to forsake the things that you accumulated, or your business, right? You're gonna have to be able to forsake these things, man, right? So that's why it says, "Him that fleeth away, be as he that fleeth away." It says, "And he that buyeth as one that will lose." It says, "He that is occupied in merchandise as he that had no profit buy it, and he that buildeth as he shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as he should not reap, so also he that planted the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. You see? It says, they that marry as they shall not get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. It says, and therefore they that labor in vain. Right? So that's really it on that precept, man. Right? So that's what we're entering into, man. This devil is going to roll out this digital currency, as you can read. You know, brothers can look into it. Like I say, you know, I just wanted to bring that out. It's called the Genus Act. It was passed. It was passed on the 17th. Right? Hold on, what today is? Yeah, so it was passed yesterday, right? The Genus Act was passed yesterday in the midst of ballistic missiles flying everywhere over there with Israel and Iran, and Russia getting into it, and with Ukraine, and there's all kind of chaos going on and rumors of wars, right? And we're seeing it, right? And ultimately we're seeing a fall of a civilization, a fall of a wicked kingdom, right? Right before our eyes, like the Lord had told us, right? Which He told us to not fear. He say for us to fear not evil tidings. He told us to fear not destruction when it coming. Right, because we understand what all these things are for, right, and it's ultimately it's beautiful, right, in the eyes of the saints of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Right, so brothers keep striving, brothers keep pushing, right. Lord, when I pray this lesson was edifying, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shemel Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostle and elders, Grand Millstone, who really teach well, and peace and salutation. I can know for appreciate you and sincerity. Until next time, Shalom.